Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be discussing the background image property in CSS. The background image property is used to add a background image to an HTML element. You can set an image to fill the entire background of an element or add it as a background to a specific part of an element. Let's see this in action. Following along from the previous videos, you should already have the index.html file set up to point to an external CSS file. If you do not already have this set up, pause the video and take a moment to add this code to your index.html file, as well as create a separate file called styles.css inside a CSS folder. I've also included links in the description where you can find the code to get you started. Open Live Server if you don't already have it open. In VS Code, right-click in the Explorer area, and let's create a new folder called Images. And let's download a couple of images from GitHub and place them in there. So right click and I'm going to save image as, and then I'm going to navigate to my images folder and save the first one, which is the big game image. And then for the second image, the small game image, I'm going to do the same, save image as, save it right in there, and then back in VS Code, I should see the two images. I've also included links to these images in the description. Next, in the index.html file, let's add a few elements. H1, background, images. Let me close this out so we can see this. Then let's add a div. Let's give this div an ID of big game image. And in it, I'm going to give a paragraph. Call this big game image. And let me add a second div. Paragraph. Say small game image. By default, this image repeats. And let me give the div an ID of small game image. Then over in the styles.css file, let's add some basic styling for the divs and then set up the background image for the IDs. First, for the div, I'm going to give it a height of 300 pixels. Then a color, text color of white. Then let me give it a border, 2 pixels, solid yellow. Okay. Now for the big game image ID, we give it a background image property with a URL pointing to the images folder and the big game image. And you can see the background image appeared here, slightly cut off because of the size, but now you can see it's behind the text, or it looks like it's behind the text. So now the small game image ID, I'm going to give it a background image of URL pointing to the small game file. The syntax for using the background image property is quite simple. You simply write the background image followed by colon, and then the image source. In this case, I use the URL pointing to the image file. And that's it. You can use the background image property in many different ways. You can set it as the background for the entire web page or for specific sections of the web page. You can even use it to create a background image for a button or a link. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the description for additional resources. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.